All right, good afternoon. Today's topic of discussion is going to be going over the short sale leaseback and short sale buyback. This is Dale with the Snyder Group at Keller Williams Realty here in Las Vegas, Nevada. I've got our expert short sale negotiator and leader of our listing department, Erin Camp, with us today.
Hello.
Erin's going to shed some light on this. She's really, truly the expert and been doing this for years. Before we jump in to the conversation, I just want to preface it by the whole intent of this video is just frustration on our part of all of the bait and switch and misguided information out there. I'm sure some of you have seen the billboards around town with the buyback and the lease option, and we just felt that we need to get some information out here to the consumer, because basically all this is just going to be doing some bait and switch, and really the intention of the consumer is not being looked out for. Let's jump right in, Erin, if you want to
Great.
shed some light for us, if
Absolutely.
you will.
I read an article about a month ago saying that Nevada was looking at bringing in a non-profit organization to start helping homeowners basically stay in their homes. So how in the magic picture it would work is an investor, this non-profit comes in, they buy your house as a short sale.
Okay.
They go to the bank and say, we're buying the property at X. We're then going to allow the seller to lease the property for a set amount of years and then purchase the home at the same price that we purchased it for. So therefore, we're not making any profit. We're just helping a homeowner out who is basically in a financial struggle. It was first heard about in California. It's now being done, I believe, actively in Arizona. So we all got really, really excited. I was like, wow, this might be an awesome opportunity, finally something to help our homeowners out.
Yeah.
The more you get starting to research it, though, what I'm starting to find now is companies are actually in Nevada saying, we're a nonprofit. And I'm going, really, in a matter of 30 days, you've magically come into our town and into our state, set up a nonprofit and have all of this working? I'm a little confused. I started to find out is not only are some of these nonprofits, they're actually real estate companies. So
hold on. So you have a nonprofit real estate company?
Well, that's basically, yes. I have a nonprofit name here that's actually backed by my real estate company here. So
sounds a little fishy to me.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, potentially. I don't want to be negative about stuff.
No, it's not. But it is. Be
honest and open.
It makes you kind of go, how is that working?
Yeah.
One that was actively trying to do this, what we had found out was they came in, they bought a home. They used an investor's money, so as soon as the transaction was done, the nonprofit transferred the property into the investor's name, which automatically we're done. How is that protecting you as a homeowner in being able to say, okay, well, the house is supposed to go to me, but now it's gone from a nonprofit to an investor, and it's a mess. And what it's doing
Sounds
is
pretty tricky and can be pretty convoluted.
There's a lot of red flags, and there's a lot of talk about it, but I believe, bottom line, it's not set up yet. It's not here yet. And ultimately, I don't see the banks being ready or willing to do this with us. I just don't think we're there.
Yeah. Okay, so explain it a little bit more, and maybe from a consumer standpoint, what should they be doing? Because I'm assuming if you're watching this video, you want to keep your home, or you're doing some research on this, trying to figure out what's going on for a friend, or so. What do you suggest to a consumer?
The first step always as a consumer is call your bank. If you've tried the loan mod avenue, and that just hasn't worked for you, or you're in the process, stick with it. That loan modification is what's going to ultimately be able to help you. Now, if you're looking for a principal reduction, which I think everybody is in looking at this, oh great,
sure.
I owe $400,000, my house is worth $2,000, this investor's going to buy it and then sell it back to me in 4 years at $200,000. You have a better chance of going to your bank and asking them just to basically waive $200,000 off your loan. The chances are really, really slim, and I just don't think are, again, going to happen for you. The biggest catch and the thing to remember in all of this, especially in Nevada, is we have people coming in saying, well, I've done this in California and I've done this in Arizona, and that's great because they're non-recourse states. Nevada, if in case you don't know, we are a recourse state, which means the deficiency from what you sell your house to what is owed, you are financially responsible for that. The bank can come back and sue you unless they have put into writing that they're going to waive it. So now what we have to go to is not only negotiate with the bank to sell your house short, to waive your deficiency, but now we have to convince the bank that even though you can't afford your home, they should let you stay in it to buy it back from this nonprofit organization. And the banks, I believe, are going to say, why?
Yeah.
What you know, we're losing. The banks, I think, are saying, look, the reason we haven't allowed you to stay in the house and do a principal reduction is simply because we're all losing. I'm sorry, you're losing your house. You need to move out. We're losing this money, but we're walking away. Everybody walks away, and, you know, we're all kind of just short on this.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then, you know, just if it seems to be too good to be true, it usually is. So my initial gut on this, and I've done a little bit of research on it, is, you know, if first off, a nonprofit buying up all these homes, I just don't see it happening and the banks allowing it. It just doesn't seem to be logical that it's going to happen.
Right.
And secondly, if they were to do principal reductions, everybody would want to do it. And thirdly, you know, prices have gone up 30% in the last 12 months, and they're projected to go up 10% more. Mm-hmm. So homeowners are even less likely to be upside down enough to really need a principal reduction. To me, it seems more of just getting put on a 30-year fixed at current interest rates, which are in the mid to low threes.
Absolutely,
would be the best. But in summary, you're saying reach out to their bank. Don't reach out to these
always reach out to your
nonprofit real estate companies.
Go to your bank first. go to a reputable realtor, a reputable attorney, someone that you know is not looking out for their best interests. It's not going to be, come in, let's try to apply for this program, and oh, so sorry it didn't work, so now we're going to sell your house anyways.
Yeah,
that's
exactly
what this is. I really believe it's a trying to get you in that front door. They're going to sell your house, and is it really in your best interest? Did they tell you to try that loan modification first? Did they tell you to try mediation first?
Yeah.
Have you extinguished all your options to actually truly try to keep you in your house?
Yeah. No, that's a good point. So the other thing I wanted to go over, I want to read a couple of deficiency letters here,
Absolutely.
our short sale approval letters. If you do a short sale, about 95% of the mortgages are controlled by Bank of America, Chase, Wells Fargo, Ocwen, Citi, Fannie, or Freddie. That's 95% of the mortgages in this country. And they have very stern, firm short sale approval letters, of which you're not able to stay in the home or have. I always confuse this. Is it it's a non-arm's length? Is that the way I'm supposed to say
right.
it?
What the bank says is they make you sign what's called an arm's length affidavit that
That's
basically says that it is a non-arm length transaction, meaning we're not immediately related.
Yes.
That there's no personal gain between the exchange of this property.
Yes.
Which comes in to exactly where this is. There is personal gain for you to sell your house because you get to stay in the house, you get to lease it back, and you then get to buy it. That's huge personal gain for you as a seller to participate in this program.
Yes, that's right. Exactly. Okay, so let me read one of these here. I'm just going to read the Bank of America. The parties, and this is actually from one of our short sale approval letters. We've taken the verbiage out. And Wells Fargo, Chase, Citi, Cetiris, Ocwen, these are actually from the approval letters. So the parties acknowledge and agree that neither the buyer nor the sellers nor their respective brokers' agents have any agreements, written or oral, that will permit the seller or the seller's family member to remain in the property as renters or regain ownership of said property at any time after the execution of the short sale transaction. This includes if the seller is retaining a direct or indirect ownership or possessory interest in the property and or has a formal or informal option to obtain such as interest in the future. I think I read that right. So in summary with that, I just don't see how this is going to play out and actually come to fruition. I mean, I hope it does, and I really hope that homeowners can keep their homes, because believe me, I would rather see the homeowner rather than the banks. Not that the banks are winning, but the banks get the property back. It'd be nice to help you out with this, but if it seems to be too good to be true, it usually is, right?
Absolutely. I really do think. And whereas I think maybe in the future it is coming, I definitely don't see it being here now. Again,
Yeah.
A true nonprofit is not something you set up overnight. This isn't something that you just jump on a bandwagon, which is really, truly what I feel all of this is right now. It's the next new great shiny object to get you to call in and ultimately sell your home. And if there are options for you, the bank is going to know. Call your mortgage institution, talk with them, find out what options they have. We understand how frustrating that process is. We are here to help with anything that we can.
Yeah. All right, fantastic. Yeah, so in summary, if you want more information about this or to see if there's a possibility of this actually coming to fruition for you, contact your bank. You don't need to contact anybody else. Call your bank. If you'd like to be consulted a little bit prior to calling your bank or after you talk to your bank, Aaron specifically would be the one to talk to give you some free, honest advice on what the next step should be. So this is Dale Snyder with the Snyder Group going over the buyback or leaseback on short sales with Aaron Camp.
Have a great day.
Yeah, thank you.